Hey everyone, Matt here on another edition of Ask Ron. Ron, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Sitting here at home working. Got my t-shirt on from Vegas. Vegas does not stay in Vegas. All the boot camp attendees out there got one of those.
That is a pretty sweet shirt. All right, the first question we have today is from Sharon in Washington. Sharon says, how can I identify the smaller niche markets with a higher percentage of sold houses?
How can I identify the smaller niche markets with a higher percentage of sold houses? Sharon, I'm not sure I can answer that question because what we generally do is try our best to get sellers to call us, therefore creating their own little niche, and they're much more workable and easier to work with when they call us. So we just do a few things to make that happen. But I got to tell you, we just completed our MIS multiple income streams session, 4 days of it last week, and we had 20 deals, and all 20 of them came through our Gold Club. They were from all over the country. So our Gold Club, our VA from our Gold Club leads, and we produced $8.5 million worth of value in real estate and almost $1 million in potential upfront non-refundable deposits in 4 days, with only 2 people calling 2 days, one before and one on the first day. So I think you probably should quit worrying about finding a little niche with a big market and just start worrying about getting people to call you with houses for sale, and then learning how to follow up on the leads that we generate for you through the Gold Club as well. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of money in them if you just master that call. In fact, we did a session on mastering the call, and I believe that session is on the Gold Club, if not mistaken.
I believe it is.
I think we do have it. It's worth your time to go check it out, because when you master that call, you crack the code. The rest of this stuff gets real easy when you can handle that call.
Nice. All right. Sharon's next question is, what are the preferred paths for a 74-year-old to achieve her first completed closing?
Ron, sorry, you're just too old. I mean, you're 1 year younger than me, girl. I just turned 75, so I'm afraid it's too late for you. There's no way you can be able to do it. Just kidding. Okay. That's not, you know what? You should probably forget about your age, because all that tells me you've been around so long, you don't much care about what anybody else says. Maybe you can forget about all the junk the younger folks care about, quit worrying about what everybody else says and start dealing with the people and weed them out quickly and get down to the ones that want to work with you, because that's the whole game right there. And that's the whole thing you got to master on that closing call. And I don't know why you bring up your age. It doesn't make a bit of difference, except it gives you more experience. There ain't but a few things you got to do. You do them right to start making money.
All right. And then her last question is, how do I attract buyers with little to no advertising budget?
Gold Club leads. I mean, we just did 20 deals on them. We started out with 215 leads. We could only get 146 of them to pick up the phone, Sharon. So in fact, we got 146 leads. Out of that, we got 20 deals, and I'm trying to, yeah, that's about all I remember. I got 20 deals out of 146 people that we could get a hold of. So now, you know, that's a lesson to all of you listening. Just because you got leads don't mean we can reach them on the telephone. So you got to generate at least twice as many leads as you expect to reach on the telephone. Our VAs try 3 times. If they can't reach them, they put them up on your CRM Dreams. It says that we're done with them. We've closed the lead out. That doesn't mean we got a hold of them. What you need to be looking at is your PI sheets, because that means they did get a hold of them and they got a PI sheet. So now even the ones we get a hold of, okay, we only get a PI sheet on about half of those. So if you want to get down to reality, then let the Gold Club generate the leads for you, and do a few things that you need, that you should be doing to bring in them calling you as well. But I'm telling you right now, you can make a good high 6-figure income just working these Gold Club leads if you work them right. Okay, you cannot make a dime with the leads sitting on your desk and you're not following up on them. Mastering that call and that visit to the house is literally worth a fortune to
Oh yeah.
listening. All of you listening. That's what you should focus on. If you master that, you'll laugh at all the things you think about right now. Because what's the difference between you and the two mentors that we had calling and you? He just had more practice at it. That's all. 20 deals, 20 potential deals. Okay. Right. They're not all going to go through. Well, half of them go through. Okay. $500,000 worth of front end non-refundable deposit ain't bad for 4 days worth of work. Actually, we only work 3.
Yeah.
Call it event. We couldn't have it.
All right. Moving on to the next question. We have Lena in Oklahoma. Lena says, is there a calculator available for commercial properties?
There's a calculator available that makes no difference what kind of properties you use it on. Lena, write this down. EZ calculator. The letter E, the letter Z calculator. It's got a bunch of calculators on it. You want the one in the upper left-hand corner to compute the things you're going to want to compute. You'll never use all those calculators, nor will you ever need to. That's right. It's on your phone. It's an app, Easy Calculator.
Nice. All right. The next one we have is from Vicki in Idaho. Vicki says, none of these certified deal-making attorneys are close to where I live. Does that matter?
Vicki, you only need one in your state. It doesn't make any difference whether they're my attorneys that I happen to spend a day with are near you or not. Frankly, finding a real estate closing attorney is a pretty easy job. Just go to Google, put in real estate closing attorneys in your city, and here come a list of them. You start calling them and see if they are really real estate closing attorneys, and tell them you buy and sell with owner financing, and you sometimes sell on the lease purchase. Do they do that? If they do that, they'll tell you. If they don't do that, they're not real estate closing attorneys, or they're attorneys that don't just close cash deals. You won't have a real estate closing attorney.
The next question we have is from Avery out in California. Avery says, my question is along the guidelines of investing with an existing Roth IRA. I do not have an IRA, but I do have a high cash value whole life insurance policy where I can withdraw or take out a policy loan to invest, which is collateralized by the death benefit. Do you have any information on using this structure as far as taxes are concerned?
Well, first of all, if you, you're thinking if you take the money out of your life insurance, is it going to be, you're actually just borrowing the money. So no, there's no taxes on borrowed money, that I can tell you. So that's right, that's the answer. You borrow money, there's no tax on it. What you do with that money is totally irrelevant to your tax consequences until you use it to make a profit, and you have to pay taxes on the profit. That doesn't affect the money you borrowed out of your life insurance. Be very careful though. You know, when you're borrowing money on something you paid years to build, be very careful that what you borrowed that money for means you're going to use it to put it into a property and get it back very quickly with a larger check than you put out, and you're pretty confident in what you're doing. I'd hate to see you lose your life insurance benefits because you just weren't trained enough.
That's a great point. All right, we have one more question, and that's from Fernando in Connecticut.
Okay.
Fernando says, I have been successful in following your and the Wolf couple's advice on social media. I have found several tenant buyers using Facebook Marketplace. However, in the last month, 3 accounts have been suspended from posting in the marketplace and using Messenger. It has the words rent to own, rent to buy, and others similar have been banned. I read the Facebook policy and it says we cannot discriminate in the housing section. Have you run into this issue, and do you have any advice on how to get around it?
Yeah, I have plenty of advice on it. First of all, I can't answer that question for you. Only Facebook can. And second of all, Facebook's not the whole world. You find other, frankly, I don't care what you do on Facebook, you're going to be disappointed sometime in the very near future. Change the rules on a regular basis. They think they own the world. And to be honest with you, I'm predicting Facebook won't even be around in another 2 or 3 years. So you can take that to the bank. And because they cannot control what they control and continue to get away with it. So you need to be looking for other alternative advertising, and there's tons of them. For example, you can use Google and all of those apps that are out there for you to use, and then it's simultaneously, you don't sit around and wait for Facebook to give you an answer and explain why. You just simultaneously use the other stuff, keep the calls coming in, and then see if you can find out what the problem is with Facebook. But it definitely is the words and what common sense they use to ban you makes no sense to anybody that's ever been banned. They just don't. I don't know what rules they're using, but they don't make any sense. Nothing you could post about a house should cause you to get banned, but I don't own Facebook, okay? So I can't tell you why they do what they do.
Well, I think that was the last one we have for today.
All right. Well, guys, we're coming up to the end of the year here. It's getting late. You better get to work. Telling you, what do we got? 4 months left here. So got a lot going on between now and the end of the year, though. So keep up on the calendar. Got business management coming up. We've got a commercial boot camp coming up that is virtual. Business management is going to be virtual. Got October and December quick start schools still coming up. So a lot going on. Who knows? You might even stick something else there in the middle for you. And maybe we'll have Matt on here doing some belly dancing for you later.
Only if you're lucky.
Maybe. All right. See you next week.